All right, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, and salutation and much love to Yakim out there pushing out his word and truth and sincerity. All right, it's the brother Ash from GMS Tampa branch, and I just want to do a quick, video, Lord's will is edifying unto the hopeful elect out there, and to whomsoever may come across this video. All right, if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, or if your spirit resonates with this truth, then you may very well be an Israelite. All right, according to the biblical scriptures. All right, so whoever this video is for, you better take heed. All right, because there's some bad times coming to this earth, especially here in America. All right, evil times. Evil meaning ill, times. Bad times are coming. Okay, but nonetheless, let's just go ahead and jump straight into the scriptures. All right. This is the start at 2nd Esdras 9:1. This is 2nd Esdras 9:1 in the Apocrypha. All right, and it says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." All right, so us being Israelites, all right, Hebrew Israelites, we are to be watching, all right, because the Lord gave us the signs of the times and the times at hand, all right. He gave us these warning signs, these indications that he would get start to show in the last days before the ultimate judgment comes. All right, and we're living in those times. You take a look around the world, it's chaos. It's nothing but confusion here in America, right? You got transgender people. You don't know if a man's a man or if a woman's actually a woman. You got wars and rumors of wars. Okay, you got a lot of things going on, but nobody seems to care. Nobody really seems to care at this point in time. But what? That's good. That's good. That's a good sign, though, because that gives us a better chance of salvation. As the scriptures say, this world be for many, but the world to come is for few, because not everybody is giving up their lives for the Lord. All right, not everybody's sacrificing and forsaking what they were doing in the past. You know what I'm saying? Before you came into this truth, before you found the gospel, the good news, which the gospel is that salvation is for the Jew or the Israelite. All right, the Israelites. Whether you look like a Chinese man, whether you look like a so-called white man, it doesn't matter what you look like. It's about what your spirit is. All right, what spirit resides in you. All right, as Romans 8 says, the Spirit beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. The children of the Most High are the Israelites. All right, so that's who we out here looking for. That's who we out here looking to wake up, and more specifically, the elect. All right, the 144,000 men that are going to be awoken to this truth, and that are going to do the will of the Heavenly Father, and then through them, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel shall receive salvation. All right, but how are we to us being prophets of the Lord? What are we to do? We are to watch and measure the time diligently, because the times are getting worse and worse, and that's how we know that we're getting closer to the return of our Lord and Savior Yahushua. All right, so let me read verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and there's earthquakes everywhere, all kind of major earthquakes taking place daily. All right, it just goes uncovered. Okay, the mainstream media is not showing you how many earthquakes there are every day. It's not showing you all the uproars on CNN and Fox and Bay News 9 or ABC Action News. They're not showing you all the uproars that are taking place around the world. All right, over there in France, they got it there in those the yellow vest protesters. Man, that shit is spreading like a wildfire over there. All right, and ultimately it's gonna come here. All right, when the uproars, all right, the civil unrest, the race riots, the martial law takes place here in America, what are you going to do then? All right, what are you going to do then? Because then it's going to be too late to seek the Lord. That's why Isaiah 55:6 says, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found." Because it's going to come a time when the Lord ain't going to be out here through his prophets. All right, the prophets ain't gonna be standing on the corners while people are getting shot down in the streets, while martial law is coming down the street. All right, with a tank and some Humvees, man. All right, and the prophets of the Lord ain't gonna be out there when there's race riots. All right, when people are looting and burning buildings and cars down. All right, the prophets ain't gonna be out there no more, man. It's not gonna be as easy as 1, 2, 3. All right, but so now is the time. Now is the time to get it ready. All right, verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even the beginning. All right, so the Lord told us what was going to happen. The Lord told us that these things would occur. Now let's read some of the things that are coming, mainly here to America. Right, because America is the modern day Egypt. All right, America is the modern day Babylon, mystery Babylon, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. All right, so this is Isaiah 19, and I'll start at 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. All right, so talking about civil unrest. All right, a new civil war is at hand. And Lord's will, I put the video at the end, a little clip I found, which inspired this lesson. All right, civil unrest is coming to America, and it's not just going to be the North versus the South. It's going to be everybody for themselves. All right, in the midst of that, it's going to be race riots. So if a coon hunter, all right, one of them Edomites, them red Hebrew Edomites, catch you outside, they gonna kill you, man. They gonna lynch you up. They gonna castrate you. You know, these devils, the true nature of the so-called white man is coming out, and especially when it's a lawless society and martial law has been declared. All right, curfews, all out chaos in the streets. Damn, they gonna start hanging niggas again, man. You spics too, man. You tontos. Y'all don't think that the so-called white man is your buddy, man. He's your enemy. All right, he's gonna treat you just like he treats the niggas. All right, but what? Even Esau among himself is gonna be division. That's why Yahushua said, "A kingdom divided against itself cannot stand." All right. But let's keep reading. It says, "I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, civil unrest, civil war." All right, just like it happened before. You had civil war in 1870, 1860, something like that, around that time frame. And guess what? You had Jakes fighting on both sides, and you had Edomites fighting on both sides. All right, it's gonna happen again. Look what's going on in the news. What are they pushing? Division through the left and the right, the Democrats and the Republicans, or how in the ancient days, in ancient Rome, they call them the plebeians and the the plebeians and the Etruscans, something like that. Plebeians and something like that. Let me look that up real quick. I don't want to get that wrong. Plebeians and the partitions. All right, the plebeians and the partitions. All right, that's the all right, the Roman or the Republicans and Democrats is the modern day plebeians and the partitions. All right, and just like they were divided back in ancient Rome, and the same thing is going on today. British Circus Act. All right, distracting the minds of the people. Meanwhile, they're over there doing martial law training. All right, suburban warfare tactics in downtown Los Angeles, and then in Long Beach, California. You know, they're over there gearing up, getting ready. Meanwhile, people are getting ready for Valentine's Day. Okay, what else? What else you got? The basketball. Now the Super Bowl on pass. Now people gonna be worried about basketball. What else? Here in Tampa, a lot of these people like the hockey shit. All right, the soccer, the baseball, whatever. It was all a bunch of garbage, man. Just bread and circus, man. Keep you distracted from the perils that are coming. And that's why Esau's over here preparing, all right? The military ain't playing games, man. And even your everyday Edomite, that's why they stocking up guns and bullets. So when there's a lawless society and a civil unrest, they can go shoot some niggas, man. That's what they can't wait for. And you know what we can't wait for? Till the Lord returns and puts all these heathens in subjection, all right? Well, this is going to happen before. All right, all this unrest, uproars is going to happen before the Lord returns. All right, it says, "And they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. That's that civil unrest that's coming to America. All right, race riots. All right, your next door neighbor Bob. All right, he ain't gonna lend you no cup of sugar in that day, man. He coming for your throat. Right, when he drank his last water bottle and ate his last slice of bread. All right, all that friendly neighbor shit is going out the window. There's gonna be death and destruction on these streets. Verse 3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. So the Lord is going to destroy the counsel thereof of Egypt, man. Ain't nobody going to have the answers, all right? The government's not going to have the answers. All right, your pastors, all right, these churches, they're not going to have the answers. But what? People are going to seek those idols. They're going to go to the Latinos, they're going to go to Guadalupe, or the Virgin Mary, okay, and begging her for answers and asking her, the idol, the dumb idol that can neither hear nor speak. They're going to ask it to help them and save them. It's going to be, hey, boo-hoo. That's all I can say, boo-hoo. All right? People are going to be seeking answers everywhere. But really, they had the answers in front of them the whole time. They just refused to hearken, man. They walked right past the prophets of the Lord, clicked on a video, gave a thumbs down, talked some shit on the comment board, and kept it moving. Well, now, guess what? The Lord going to do the same to you. You rejected him, so he going to reject you. All right, it's speaking to the Israelites, man, because you heathens have nothing to do with this, man. You're just going to have to roll through the storm and then wake up in the kingdom of heaven as a slave. All right? So let's go to Matthew now. New Testament, Matthew 24 and 12. It says, let's see. In Matthew 24 and 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right, so the love of many is going to wax cold, man. Because what? Iniquity is going to abound. Because it's going to be every man for himself. When this shit really gets popping, and it's civil unrest, they still might, it's not going to be everywhere you go, There's still going to be people working, and, certain cities are still going to be good. But wherever Jake is, the poor cities, whatnot, the hoods, the ghettos, the barrios, that's where the biggest chaos is going to be. And guess what? Jake has integrated amongst you Edomites, man. So wherever they are, that's where the shit's going to be going down, man. And then you got these protesters, Edomite protesters that protest against the government, just like they did in the old Civil War of in the 1800s. It was the South fighting against the government, man. They didn't want to give up them slaves. So what they gonna do now? They're gonna fight for their rights again, man. I got rights. That kind of Edomite, the gun toting, what's his name? Billy. The news unit kind of hillbilly. The Duck Dynasty kind of devil. Those are the ones that are gonna be covering up against the government. So it's gonna be the left versus the right. That's why Trump is set up to cause division in this country. And it's working beautifully. So it's not only going to be Jake bugging the hell out, right? Looting and rioting. It's going to be you everyday Edomites too. Because it's going to affect you. Because now you're on the same level. All right, you low-level Edomites, you 2/3 Edomites, you're on the same level as Jake now. All right, and some Jake doing better than you. So when Jake gets affected through this, the economy getting messed up, whatever, because of this, uproars and the civil unrest. Okay, then you Edomites are gonna be affected too, just like I wouldn't say the majority of them, but there was a good amount of Edomites that got affected by this government shutdown. All right, when the food stamps is gone, all right, you Edomites are gonna get affected. All right, you bum Edomites, you red Hebrew Edomites. And it's gonna be all out chaos, man. You're gonna see, and then in the midst of that, while people are rioting, it's gonna be a race riot too. So it ain't gonna be safe on any level, man. People are gonna be fighting against the government and then fighting against each other. All right, there's gonna be straight chaos out here, man. Let's go to 2nd Ezra. All right, nobody's gonna give you a friendly lending hand in that day. All right, nobody's gonna come to your rescue. Let's see here. All right, second Ezra is 15 and 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right, so there's going to be sedition, man. All right, chaos, war. All right, and what happens in war? People die. Okay, there's casualties, innocent kid will be killed, as they say. You know, and ain't no such thing as innocent. Nobody is innocent. Whoever perished being innocent, as the scriptures say. But you know, there's gonna be women getting raped to death. Right? There ain't gonna be no 911 to call. All right, and if you do call them, it's gonna take them 3 hours to get there, because they're fending for their lives too. You know, they might have 3 people on staff that day. You know, and the martial law troops gonna come and just clean up, and shoot everybody in sight. Okay, because the government ain't gonna have no pity on you people in that day either, man. They just gonna start laying you fools down, man, busting them hollow tips in you. All right, there's a reason Homeland Security bought all the millions or billions of hollow point tips, man. It's not to use on the ISIS, okay? It's to use on you Americans, man. All right. There's a reason they're doing suburban warfare tactics, practicing. It's not to go into Syria, all right? It's the roll on you damn morons. Verse 16, 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their power, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. There you go, man. Straight sedition, man. Chaos. Nobody's gonna care about what the kings and the princes. Nobody in that day when all hell is broken loose. Nobody's gonna care about what Donald Trump got to say. Nobody's caring about what the governor of the state of Florida or the governor of California has to say, right? Nobody's gonna care, man, because they're trying to survive. They're gonna go into that survival mode, and if you gotta kill somebody, you know, they're gonna do it, man. And they got all these post-apocalyptic, you know, movies and you know, end time movies or whatever, where society just collapses and it's every man for himself. And man, they showing you what's gonna happen, man. People are gonna be killing each other, or choking each other out, shooting the hell out of each other, stabbing each other. All right, you name it, it's gonna happen, man. All this chaos. All right, verse 17: a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because when a martial law is established, all right, national state of emergency, they're gonna have to close the main roads down, just like they showed in that movie, How It Ends on Netflix. This is how it ends, something along those lines with Forrest Whitaker. All right, they had all the main highways shut down. The military was there, posted with heavy artillery. All right, they had dispatched the military jets, you know, the F-35s. They're gonna have the cities quarantined, man. All right, they don't want you know, especially where there's gonna be looting and rioting. They're gonna want to quarantine that quick. All right, so you're not gonna be able to leave the town. You're gonna be stuck in there. All right, they're gonna border them shits up. Especially if you're on a like if you're on a peninsula, like Florida is, and there's only one way out, you're fucked. All right. Verse 18: for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. There you go. See, houses are going to be ravished. Or people are going to be busting in through your doors, burning your houses down, and people are going to be afraid. Grown men are going to be afraid to come outside, because they know it's a possibility they ain't not coming back. They might not make it 10 steps out the door. And that's what's coming to the streets of America. Death and destruction around every corner. All right, and imagine you so-called white people come out to go try to get some food or some water, and you got a horde of angry niggas coming at you, man. A bunch of Crips and Bloods, you know. Now they can do whatever they want. Now they can just bang on you, you know, bang on you Edomites, man. Because Jake is looking at you damn devil sideways right about now, man. They sick and tired. You don't know. I'm talking about the 2/3, man. They sick and tired of taking shit from you devils, man. So when they get a chance, they gonna bust the cap in your ass. All right. And the scriptures say there be spirits created for vengeance. Well, a lot of these 2/3 niggas are gonna lose their shit. A lot of these niggas in prison, you know, Debo and you know, Tyrone do nothing but push-ups and pull-ups all day long. When society collapses and they're released, all right, that they can bust out the prisons, they're gonna come. They're gonna come for your head, man. They're gonna rape you, people, all right, and put you to death. You ain't not gonna be able to do a damn thing about it. Big 280-pound, big ass cock diesel nigga beating the brakes off of you, man, holding you down like a little bitch. You know. So like it for the language, but that's what's gonna take place, man. You're gonna be screaming all kind of profanities in that day. Here it is, all these little Christians, pseudo Christians, talking about why you cussing. You're gonna be the #1 person cussing in that day when all hell is brought upon you. All right, verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Nobody's gonna care how you feel if you crying. A woman, a badass chick, you know, she over there in the corner in the fetal position crying. Nobody's gonna care about that tears, man. Nobody's gonna care about your tears, man, or how you feel that day. All right, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right, so it's gonna be a lot of killing, a lot of raping, right? Put it bluntly, because it's gonna be a lack of bread. All right, when the shit hits the fan and there's no more truck drivers, all right, the stores only got 3 days food, all right, stocked up. Now, that 3 days of food is going to be gone within the first day, within hours, all right? Look what happens when they say there's a hurricane coming or some shit. Man, them shelves get clean that day. No water, no bread. The only thing that's left is fucking, little toy cars and shit. Hey, but this is going to be horrible times. I'm telling you. This is a warning. This is the Lord giving you warning right now. All right, Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah 13. Isaiah 13 and 11. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. All right, so the Lord is coming to judge you proud ass devils, man. You proud ass Americans, including you 2/3 Jakes, man. Everything is a game until the shit hits the fan. All right, proud as hell, proud to be an American, proud to be a homosexual, proud to do all this wickedness, and then you walk around with these haughty ass looks. All of that's gonna cease in that day, man. All right, let's see all these independent women and these tough guys. What they gonna do when the shit hits the fan, man? If you ain't got your Habashimi outside with you, you're screwed, man. Yep. And death and destruction is coming. So remember, civil unrest, martial law, and race riots is coming to America. Shalom.
On the 12th of August 2017, Heather Heyer attended a protest against the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. By the end of the day, she would be dead. The victim of a car deliberately driven into a crowd of liberal demonstrators by a self-confessed Nazi. President Trump blamed both sides for the violence in Charlottesville, and a year later, liberal and conservative pundits appear to be drawing lines in the sand, echoing rhetoric last seen in 1865. But are the policies of the president really that divisive? Is Trump's America heading for a second civil war? According to a June 2018 Rasmussen poll, approximately 31% of voters believe a second civil war is likely to occur in the next 5 years. This is reflective of the deep divisions within American society along lines of class, wealth, and race. A 2017 Harvard study found that 57% of Americans viewed the civil rights movement Black Lives Matter unfavorably. Trump's declaration that journalists are the enemy of the people has contributed to increased distrust of the media, to the extent that, according to a June 2018 Gallup poll, 44% of Americans believe the news they see is inaccurate. A barometer of this clear division down the middle of America is the election of Donald Trump in 2016. An aggregate of all his approval polls suggest 52.5% of the electorate disapprove of his performance. Alt-right leader Richard Spencer has credited Trump with his movement's revival in several states across America. The number of right-wing militias like the Three Percenters grew by a third between 2015 and 2016. Journalist Sarah Leonard suggests liberals have responded by radicalizing too. Certainly, Antifa members have advocated violence against Republican and alt-right targets, and the New York City Antifa group's Twitter following quadrupled in January 2017. In an environment where there is no moderate standing, another event like Charlottesville could lead to disaster. On the 2nd of April 2018, Sean Hannity announced on his daily radio show,
I'm going to tell you something. This country's headed towards a civil war in terms of two sides that are just hating each other. And if Robert Mueller is so pompous and so arrogant, he's going to ignite a battle that we've not seen in this country before.
According to Keith Mines, a State Department specialist in civil conflict, the chance of the US descending into war in the next 10 years is 60%. Mines cites entrenched national polarization, a divisive press, and weak public institutions as contributing factors to a potential war. More pointedly, Mines says the willingness of both sides to resort to violence to solve issues could lead to war. As well as the deplorable car attack in Charlottesville, there was an equally horrifying shooting of Republican lawmakers 100 miles away in Alexandria in June 2017. Political statements are no longer made with words, but with violence. This strongly echoes the disintegration of political parties and the ideological violence seen in Kansas in the 1850s, when ordinary people decided to take action independent of the authorities. The events of Bleeding Kansas were severe enough to make a compromise between pro- and anti-slavery elements next to impossible, and led almost directly to civil war. Today, remarks from conservative and liberal pundits on the Mueller investigation into Russian interference in the US election of 2016 generate similar fervor. During the 1850s, the US had weakened institutions as it does now, and strong, deep-seated opinions on both sides, as Americans do now. However, the difference, according to historian David Blight, is that the central issue of slavery tore the two political parties apart, as loyalty to state trumped loyalty to party and country. The same cannot be said of today. Following Trump's refusal to outright condemn the radical right in Charlottesville and his willingness to follow Putin's lead in Helsinki, politicians on both sides of the aisle condemned him. This is in addition to strong national forces, such as an integrated modern military and economy that is fully under the control of Washington, D.C. It is hard to see how America's armed forces would not swiftly put down any civil uprising, or how they might become sufficiently divided to wage war on themselves. One of the contributing factors to the sudden growth of the Confederacy in the 19th century was that the standing US Army numbered only 16,000, and they were spread out on the frontier. Individual secessionist states, however, could call on large local militias. Today, the National Guard is integrated into the regulars, leaving no individual state with the ability to call on a large standing force. And the differences between Trump supporters and liberals are not insurmountable. Glenn Harlan Reynolds from the University of Tennessee suggests, once people break out of their political media echo chamber, they quickly come together. Judith Giesberg, editor of the Journal of the Civil War Era, believes instead of a civil war, the United States is entering a cultural war, with more in common with the nationwide but very focused violence seen during the 1960s, rather than the 1860s. With the benefit of hindsight, it's easy to overlay a map of red states on the map of the Confederacy and suggest nothing has changed. However, the unique environment that led to the American Civil War, a world of slavery and muskets, doesn't exist today. Deep chasms have always marked public opinion, stretching back to the very founding of America itself. Yet often common ground and common sense have been found. These are uncertain times, and if war does break out, the odds are the Union will survive just as it always has. The question is whether the outcome is worth the price of the generation that would be lost fighting for it.